tonight's episode. I don't know if you've seen, so many people were like tagging me, talking about, did you see Nene left? But we already talked about it. She didn't leave because nobody ran her off. And I guess I should go ahead and start this stream with her prepared statement. I'm like, damn, you got a prepared statement already? Hold on, I'm going to say this, and then we're going to talk about the whole entire reunion. Nene hit the Instagram just moments ago to tell y'all what the deal was. And y'all remember she came on my show also to share. She said, it only felt right to personally remove myself from the reunion. So much had happened this season. The cookie lady, Mark and Kenya's fake marriage, ooh, the shade, Dennis accusations, Snakegate, and much more. But drilling me on subjects, muting me, flashing back to things that had happened since the show has wrapped, like my relationship with Wendy while in quarantine. Why didn't they ask about Candy's restaurant shooting then, if that's what they were doing? Interviews I've done since we wrapped the show that has nothing to do with the show. After deciding that apologizing for certain things was only right, that wasn't genuine enough. Starting over with Lil Sis Porsha was made fun of, and here they go, bringing someone on the reunion that I was personally told by executives wasn't allowed on set anymore. And y'all sipping this tea? Are y'all sipping this tea? All of this and so much more felt like the rules only applied to me and that I was being held to a different standard than others, but you continue to be the judge. You continue. Y'all can continue to be the judge. Look, we've been talking about this for how many weeks now? I done spilled so much tea. I hope y'all been paying attention to who been right, who been wrong, what's been credible, what hasn't. I've been trying to tell y'all. The situation wasn't what it appeared to be. Everybody was acting like Kenya Moore was boxing people and, Candy was kicking people out. But clearly Candy had a fake agenda. The whole alliance had a fake agenda, honey. They was ready, honey. They was gunning. And shout out to Porsha. Porsha had been holding down the reunion. Like, it's been like a tag team with Porsha and Nene. But then this reunion, Porsha held her own. Everybody was like, Team Porsha. Who y'all think ran the reunion today? Who do y'all think ran the reunion? What team twirled that? Y'all think Kenya ran the reunion? Candy Coated Click. Do y'all think Candy ran the reunion? Team Nene, you think Nene ran the reunion? We already know Cynthia didn't say nothing to the end or somewhere thereabouts. So what about Eva? We don't think Eva ran it. We already know Eva ain't running nothing. Who y'all think ran it? Let me see. Somebody with a peach. Anybody with a peach. Let me see. Nene and Porsha, Team Porsha, Porsha. Nobody cares for Candy. Wait a minute. Okay, well, let me go ahead and start with my commentary then. Y'all said Team Nene, Team Porsha. Oh, it looks like it's okay. All right, I see everybody. Okay, Porsha actually was getting on your nerves. Okay, but so let's start with Porsha then, since we're gonna start with Porsha's receipts. Y'all remember when we last left off on episode 1, Porsha said she had some hot receipts in her phone that Kenya was backstabbing Cynthia, and she said she was gonna send it to Andy and Cynthia. Well, kind of find out, the receipts were valid, but apparently Cynthia don't feel they are, because clearly it doesn't matter what Kenya do. Cynthia gonna be right there kissing her butt talks. She does not care. So the receipts that Porsha had, apparently it was Kenya venting about Eva and how she felt that Cynthia should have had her back a little bit more. And apparently what Porsha was saying wasn't actually in the text, but Porsha claimed she talked to Kenya on the phone, and Kenya said that Cynthia's day was coming. Cynthia didn't care. Cynthia was like, well, it's too many middlemen. I don't know. I didn't see it. Whatever, child. It don't matter. Somebody could tell you, Porsha, that somebody could tell Cynthia that Mike Hill was in the bed with Porsha, and Cynthia would not care. With Kenya, and Cynthia would not care. Cynthia would be like, well, was they kissing? Did you see it with your own eyes, or did somebody tell you? I need to know. But there's that. You said Porsha is annoying. Cynthia is an airhead. Y'all so funny. Cynthia is a whole fool when it comes to Kenya. What is up with that? What does Kenya have on these people? And then, we had a whole situation about the whole Real House Moms of Atlanta. Oh gosh, everybody on the show has a baby. Almost everybody. If they don't have a baby, the baby is grown. Nene's children are grown. Cynthia's daughter is grown, even though she was trying to act like she might be pregnant, talking about her. She hadn't had a cycle in about 2 months. Girl, you might be in menopause if you haven't had a cycle. I don't know what the hell's going on. But anyway, I digress. Then, talk about Eva having her babies, talking about baby PJ and how adorable she is. And we talked about baby Brooklyn. And Kenya said that Brooklyn is hitting all of her benchmarks. She's just so wonderful being a mother. But speaking of Cynthia and her situation with her new daughters, she got 2 new daughters because Mike Hill has 2 kids. They brought up the fact that Andy was like, it's a third girl over there. Who is that girl over there? And she was like, that's Noelle's girlfriend. Cynthia's been, hitting around, talking about Noelle being fluid and all that, even though we think she's a lesbian, but that's her business. Well, it ain't her business since they put it on TV. It's our business now. It's our business to talk about it. So y'all just gonna put it out there and go to gay pride and all that. But if she fluid, we ain't seen her with a boy. We ain't seen, it's like at the end of the day, we seen her with a girl. We feel like she's a lesbian. She's a lesbian right now. So Andy praised Cynthia for being so accepting of the relationship. Why do we even care? I guess so. There was also a situation with Cynthia and Mike Hill when Mike Hill made some inappropriate comments in front of the daughter, and the daughter got upset. So Cynthia, they were making it seem like it was that awkward sex conversation. Like, Cynthia said something about, giving head or something. And Mike's friend was like, you better, that's how you keep them. That's why you engage. But that wasn't it. If you recall the situation with Mike and the daughter, the reason why the daughter got upset was because Mike was talking about he never loved anyone before, or he's never been in love before and all of that. And he said that in front of his daughters, like they mama wasn't shit. That's why the daughter ran out. But, they didn't bring that part up, but I digress. That's just us watching throughout the season. That's what we saw. They talked about Marlo being a new mom to the nephews. I thought that was cute. Finally, Marlo got some things to say, a little bit anyway. But they asked Nene how she felt about Marlo being a mom, and Nene, if she had changed any. And Nene was like, she stopped shopping. Apparently she's saving all her money for the nephews. Andy noted that the nephews were, best dressed. They dressed just as well as their mom T. Who else? Oh, Porsha and PJ. Porsha, everybody be talking about Porsha's baby. Everybody be speculating about Porsha baby. Why the baby so mean? Why the baby to be looking like that? Why the baby be frowning? Porsha baby don't never smile. So Andy asked Porsha about PJ's no nonsense attitude. He put it very politely. Porsha said that her mama said that PJ was just like her when she was a baby, and that being said, that she would grow up to be as glamorous and glorious as Porsha, which was cute. What else? Well, let me see. Honestly, I think episode 1 of the reunion, part 1 of the reunion, was better than part 2, in my opinion. But I'm here for it because I'm a Housewives fan. We can talk about it. Then when Porsha was talking about the baby, comes up about what happened with Porsha and Kenya's budding friendship, because you remember at the beginning of the season they were spending time with their babies. They were at Brooklyn's little party, and Kenya says that she felt like Porsha was shading her throughout the seasons and confessionals and everything. And remember Porsha did that confessional saying that Kenya was a secret shopper of Go Naked hair. And whatever the case, Kenya seems to see it a bit differently. Kenya said it was when Nene came back on the scene. And I'm like, when she came back from where? Was she gone? Well, I don't know. Nene ain't been gone. Kenya was gone a season. Nene wasn't gone. So, I don't know if she meant when she came back into Porsha's life, but I know she didn't mean come back on the show. But That's my opinion. But she said, she felt that was when Porsha's attitude changed towards her. But Porsha says that's not it. Porsha was like, well, dang, it was fun shade. Like, you shade me, I shade you, and, you could dish out shade. Why can't you take it? And that's true. Like, Kenya can never take being shaded. It's always, Kenya can say whatever she wants about anybody. As soon as somebody says something about her, she the victim. Don't say that about my marriage. Don't say that about, it's like, girl, get over it. So they even pulled receipts of Kenya shading Porsha about that whole dinner situation when Kenya was giggling, talking about Porsha must like it doggy style, to imply, about that whole lie that some YouTuber said about Dennis McKinley, liking bestiality, the word, sex with animals, but, I don't know who would make up a lie like that, but I ain't gonna even go in on the bottom feeders. But Porsha even said it's not true. That she was, she could have been mad about it because, people had, was saying little stuff, but she started to laugh about it herself. Because remember, who else said something? Like Nene said she might need a tetanus shot or something like that. But there's that. There's another thing is Porsha ended up calling Kenya out about, lying about Shamia, because she was like at her event, for Kenya to speak up and say those things about her best friend. It was interesting because Shamia came to her later and said that, she didn't understand why Kenya would say all that. It was a lie. So Kenya claims she already posted the receipts. And they showed the receipts of the text. But Porsha said them receipts need to be in the shredder because Shamia told her that you flat out lie. In fact, the text that Kenya posted were at least a month before Shamia even gave birth. So if those are your receipts, how is it that you said that you was with Shamia, you went to the hospital with her when her water broke? Kenya kept saying it's just all a misunderstanding. She would not admit to lying not one time. She just kept saying it's all a misunderstanding. And then, you got her puppet master in the background, Candy, chiming in. It's just, she didn't mean it. She didn't mean it that way. Clearly, it was a misunderstanding. Candy, come on, Candy. Nobody ever calls Kenya out. A lie is a lie, is a lie, is a lie. I don't get it. So, Kenya, I think Porsha might have said something like, bitch, you lying. I don't even know. I'm paraphrasing, but I know she called her a bitch at some point. And Kenya seemed to be offended by Porsha calling her bitch. Porsha, says, she apologized for it, but she was like, how can you be mad at somebody calling you a bitch when you calling people CUNTs on the regular? It would seem like CUNT is more a bigger slur than the bitch because, saying bitch one way or the other, it's like, hey girl, hey girl, hey girl, hey bitch, hey bitch. You know what I'm saying? They use bitch like, everyday occurrence. So, that was interesting. And speaking of the CUNT word, Tanya finally got a chance to, confront Kenya about it, but we're going to get to that in a second. Kenya and Marlo, you said I keep it real, Damon. Thank you so much. Kenya and Marlo. Kenya said she was offended by Marlo for whatever reason. Wait a minute. Oh, because Marlo keeps bringing up the fact that she was motherless. Everybody keep bringing up the fact that you were motherless. Kenya, hell, you keep bringing it up because it's clear that, you were missing something out of your life that causes you to lash out at people. So the first thing people assume is it's because she didn't have a mother. And how would they know you didn't have a mother unless you told people? But there's that. It's interesting because Andy was taking these viewer questions, and they picked these viewer questions out ahead of time, and he was real shady about it. But he picked a viewer question and asked Marlo if she would be offended if someone asked her the same about her nephews. Like if they were wait a minute. Yeah, if they said the same thing about her nephews being motherless or not having unconditional love or whatever the case may be. Kenya said, she just matching people's energy, so it was just interesting. You said Kenya ain't showing no receipts. It is what it is. Marlo kind of brings up the fact that, I'm skipping all over the place, but Marlo brought up the fact about Kenya, crashing her lunch party with the whole Kenya Moore hair care situation. And it was during that lunch party that, Marlo was like, it's all fun shade when I say certain things about you being motherless or whatever it is. But she said she apologized 4 years ago, but she was like, whatever she said recently, it's just all fun shade. So Kenya said, was it fun shade when you was at your lunch party and you said, I don't have unconditional love for my mother? Because you said it again. You said it since you apologized. But then, oddly enough, Bravo ran the tape back and Marlo didn't say nothing about her mama the second time. The second time when they was at Marlo's lunch, when she was pissed off that Kenya Moore came in there with that 3-piece band, Marlo said Kenya doesn't have unconditional love. That's why Mark doesn't love her. Mark doesn't love her unconditionally. And it was like she was talking about Mark. She wasn't talking about your mama. Everybody was talking about Mark because nobody even believes that Mark is even in the picture. But there's that. So Kenya gonna try to compare apples with oranges because Porsha, interject. Everybody interjecting. It's just all interjects because there's so many people in the box, in the Zoom boxes. And Kenya asks if it was fun shade when when Marlo and Porsha disrupted her hair care lunch. Y'all remember the hair care lunch? And I'm like, how many years ago was that? Because she wasn't on the season last year. It had to be at least 2 seasons ago when Shamia was pretending to drink the water out the Kenya Moore hair care bottles. So Porsha even said, like, that wasn't even us. That was Shamia. And Shamia ain't here. So why are you bringing it up? And speaking of them bringing up stuff from last season, this season, I feel like the producers must have had something to do with that, because throughout this whole episode, this episode and last episode, they not talking about anything that happened throughout the season. They talking about everything that's happened after the season, in the quarantine, and all of that. Just like Nene's notice said, I'm just pointing it out. Like she said, keep paying attention. I'm paying attention. Are y'all paying attention? Anyway, it was when Kenya said that she kept talking about Marlo trying to bring her mom in it. And then that's when, the whole read started, because Nene started, interjecting. And well, actually, she didn't interject. Look, she didn't interject. Kenya kind of threw it out there that, did you have unconditional love when you and Nene was fucking the same man? And look, I might be getting it wrong because I watched it a long time ago. So forgive me, correct me if I'm wrong. But she did have a read about Nene and Marlo fucking the same man. And everybody was like thinking that it was the football player, whoever his name was, way back, Charles somebody, I think that was his name, back when Marlo first joined the show. But no, they were talking about the pizza guy who Nene met through Donald Trump when she was on Celebrity Apprentice, and he was buying her Louboutins and stuff. And remember, they have talked about this several times. Nene said she was FUCK in his pockets. And Marlo, I don't know what Marlo was doing. She may have been running credit cards and stuff too. Who knows? But Nene piped up and said she had never slept with that man. And then she was like, do you know who I'm fucking? Like, it was just a whole, child, it's just been so many reads. It's just been so many reads. You said that read was a stretch over. I know, like, why again, pulling things from previous season. How many seasons has it been since John the Pizza Man was on there? How many? I don't even remember. It's been a long time, because Nene had a whole different color shade of blonde hair. It's been a long time, but I digress. Oddly enough, here go Kenya trying to read again, talking about the ugly bitches want to come for the pretty girls. There are no ugly women on that cast. I know y'all like to call women animals. Y'all be calling Nene a moose and Marlo this and da-da-da. None of those women are ugly. None of them. Not even 50 Cent ain't ugly. Nene ain't ugly. Eva ain't ugly. Kenya ain't ugly. Kenya might have an ugly spirit, but she's not an ugly woman. Porsha isn't ugly. So for her to sit up there and say something like that, it's like, here you go, Kenya. I can understand why, you are friends with that girl, that other girl. Y'all remember the one I did a video about the last time. I'm not even mentioning her name no more because she's irrelevant, but y'all know who I'm talking about. That's why Kenya is friends with her, because they all about surface level and not about other things like character. But I digress again. Andy asked Kenya, how can she feel so strongly about going at other people's businesses when she does the same? And Tanya was clapping because clearly, she has gone for other people's businesses too. She came in with the 3-piece band. She did all kind of stuff. And what's crazy is I'm like, for the first time, Andy up here using expletives. You can fuck with other people's businesses, but others can't fuck with yours. That's a direct quote from Andy Cohen, honey. And I'm like, okay, Andy, you better read Kenya. And of course, Kenya's pretty mute. Tanya says that Kenya never apologizes for things that she does. She never takes responsibility, basically, until she's like, in a corner and forced to. And that being said, she finally apologized for calling Tanya a cunt. God. That whole situation with Tanya and the cookie lady and the wig, it was just so like low down and below the belt because it was a wig. Kenya wears wigs. She admits she wears wigs. So why on earth would you try to destroy a relationship just because somebody called you out for wearing something that you do? It would be different if you didn't wear wigs or like, I don't understand. And we were talking about this the other day as well. Like Kenya uses her long hair as if that is a badge of honor, as if no other woman of color is able to have long 24 inches of hair. She brought that into because Tanya said it was fun shade with the wig, even though Kenya brought the cookie lady and turned it into something else. And Tanya and Kenya finally admitted she wore wigs to protect her 24 inches of hair. It don't matter if you wear wigs to protect your bald head. At the end of the day, a wig is a wig is a wig. Like if you wear wigs, Nene wear wigs, Marlo wear wigs, Cynthia wear wigs, y'all all wear wigs. We don't know what's under there. Hell, for all we know, Nene got 24 inches of hair. We don't know what they got under there. So Kenya and that 24 inches of real hair, that's what she said, 24 inches of real hair. It wasn't like, it's not an accomplishment. It's really not. It's featureism. Thank you, Ann. Thank you so much. That was interesting. They talked about Toronto and how when Kenya hinted that someone's significant other was cheating, we come to find out, we already know she was talking about Tanya, but Tanya brought up the fact that there was more than one person privy to the information. In fact, the whole alliance was privy to the information. Candy, Cynthia, and Kenya were all privy to the information. Candy claims, I was asking, was it about me? How was you asking it? Was it about you when they have already deduced that you were privy to the information? Like Candy go play the game. We already know Candy playing the game. She playing along. She acting like she blind. She don't see. I don't see nothing. I don't know nothing about the cookie lady. But Candy knew everything about the cookie lady. And Tanya tried to call her out about that. Like, if you knew about the cookie lady, why you didn't say nothing? Candy gonna say it wasn't her responsibility, and that basically Tanya needed to learn to, take up for herself. And I'm like, wait, you're telling Tanya to take up for herself, but you be riding for Kenya as if she can't speak for herself. Just during part 1 of the reunion, Candy interrupted when, Nene and Kenya were going at it to say that, Kenya's relationship is real. She has a beautiful baby, Mark, and da-da-da-da-da. Like, isn't that taking up from someone who doesn't need to be taken up for? Why did you interject in that? I'm just confused. So, it was just, I didn't understand that, because it's like, at the end of the day, like Tanya said, you would be mad if somebody brought someone saying that Todd was messing around and we knew about it, and we know y'all are married, y'all in a serious relationship. Like, why wouldn't we, give you the heads up? It seems like a whole lot of snakeism. Everybody keep talking about who's the snake. I don't know. It's kind of feeling like it's Candy, but I digress. Tanya tried her best to read. She was trying to read. She was like, Kenya was in the sunken place and she wanted to pull others down. And she was like, you're in the sunken place. And she was like sinking down in her chair. You're in the sunken place, Kenya. You're in the sunken place. And, Kenya, she was just like, you're just corny. Because, Tanya didn't rehearse her reads like Kenya did. Because you saw, Kenya rehearsed her reads. Hell, Nene rehearsed her. That you saw Nene had hers written down. I bet you Kenya had cue cards over there. But there's that. But Andy said that Tanya is not corny. She's Canadian. She is not corny. She's Canadian. But it's interesting. I would like to salute Porsha for having her friends back because, we all about, lifting each other up around here. Friends have friends' backs, and I get it. That's why Candy have Kenya's back, but I don't even think they friends. They in an alliance, but that's my opinion. That's my opinion. I'm sticking with it. So in Tanya's defense, Porsha raises her hand. I have a question for Porsha in the ATL. Porsha had a question for Porsha in the ATL, and Porsha said she wanted to ask a question to Tanya. And you already know that Porsha knew the answer to the question before she asked it. She knew. And she asked Tanya, she was like, do you think Kenya acted alone? Do you think that Kenya acted alone? Dun, dun, dun. Now we finally get to call out Cynthia. We finally get to call out Cynthia because Tanya said that Cynthia knew about it. Cynthia went behind Kenya's back and actually told Tanya about it before going to Toronto. So, Kenya was even saying, if Cynthia knew, like they weren't even fazed by it because, like I said, they in alliance, they really don't care. But she feels like since Tanya knew that she knew about the cookie lady or whatever the case may be, that it was premeditated for her to bring the wig to hurt her. But I feel like because Tanya knew, she didn't feel like it was going to be that big of a deal. Like since Cynthia told her that, she wasn't necessarily a peach holder, that, they wouldn't make it a big part of the show. Like, sure, there's a cookie lady, blah, blah, blah. But okay, but let me bring this wig as fun shade. But Kenya took it there and was scheming the whole time. Like, oh, I'm going to bring the cookie lady. What would you do if somebody's spouse, if you knew that they, might have possibly cheated? Would you tell them? It's like, girl, come on, Kenya. You could do better than that, Kenya. But, they finally called out Cynthia because Cynthia knew, and Cynthia had told Tanya in advance. Oddly enough, Kenya goes, well, Cynthia had nothing to do with it. And Porsha says, well, wait a minute. In the after show, and they pull receipts. In the after show, Cynthia admitted to almost inviting the cookie lady to Brooklyn's party. Remember, Brooklyn's party was at the beginning of the season. And so Cynthia finally admitted to, wanting to invite the lady to Brooklyn's party. But, finally speaking, Cynthia been on mute the whole time, and her computer wasn't on mute. She was just on mute. But she said that she was privy to the information, but she had nothing to do with the cookie lady coming to the brunch. So again, they be playing semantics. It's our word plays. Like I knew, but I knew about, I wanted her to come to this event. I didn't know about her coming to that event. So that being said, Porsha kind of forces Cynthia to admit her part in the scheme, her part in the alliance. Y'all say she's sneaky. Everybody's sneaky. Kenya knew about it. Kenya still standing by her friend saying Cynthia didn't know. When we found out Cynthia really did know, this is getting good. So that being said, Candy, and I kind of touched on this a little bit, it's like, why you don't have an opinion, Candy? All of a sudden, Candy don't have an opinion on anything to do with the alliance. Candy always got an opinion on everybody's story because we trying to figure out what Candy's story is at this point. Because damn, you done talked about Nene's friendship with Wendy. You done talked about Kenya relationship with Mark. You done talked about everything. Like, where is your story, Candy? But anyway, Candy said she didn't want to have an opinion on the cookie lady. She said she wanted to stay out of it, because she didn't know Tanya like that. Blah, 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 blah. again, like I said, she keep interjecting at everybody else, but she don't know Tanya like that. I guess because Tanya was cool with Nene, and so she didn't want to get in there. Eva, and I'm going in order of my notes, y'all. So Eva was talking about, changing Marley's name. Y'all remember we talked about this throughout the season, and I didn't feel like it was right. I understand you feel like that your relationship with your baby daddy, you have regrets, but now she's accusing him of being, physically violent. But in accusing him of being physically violent, she wasn't really honest about their relationship. Now, Eva claims that she and Kevin McCall were never in a serious relationship. They were just hanging out, and she just so happened to got, pregnant. It was an oops baby or whatever the case may be. They were just hanging out. They had sex, and she had a baby. But the internet will lead you to believe that they was like a real live couple. Like they had been together for like a year or so or whatever, at least a couple of years. Right. It's two sides to every story. Right, Amber? It's two sides to every story. So Eva, she has a platform, which, I would hope that Kevin McCall speaks eventually. I mean, they say he crazy. I don't know. But Eva claims that, her sperm donor was suing her because she never says his name. I don't think she can legally, but who knows? She said her sperm donor was upset about her changing the name. And so he filed a countersuit to get the name changed back and for child support. And y'all remember, I don't know if you remember, but it's on straight from the A.com how Kevin McCall got to fighting at the courthouse. He was just so happy. And I'm not making excuses for him because it's wrong. It's wrong. It wasn't police brutality. He was just acting a fool and he shouldn't have. But he was walking through the courthouse and he was just so happy to be there in Atlanta because he was from Cali. He probably had scraped every dime to get here because he ain't got no money. He had scraped every dime to get to Atlanta to go to court to get his baby's name changed back and, to get something happen, to get it overturned about Eva changing his daughter's name, wanting to see his child. And he was on live. And so one of the sheriffs told him to get off live and he bucked up like, I'm not on FaceTime and I'm not going to do it. And da. And so, and the scuffle ensued and he got arrested and yada, 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 yada. He couldn't even pay for his lawyer, child. He couldn't even pay for his lawyer. Poor thing sat in jail for so long. The lawyer that he had that was actually defending him on the paternity or the paternity case, had to, gracefully bow out because, she wasn't that type of attorney. She couldn't work pro bono, I guess. And so like Mike, but it's just an interesting situation. That being said, she was saying how their relationship wasn't really serious, but she would not take it back. She would not take it back because she got the greatest gift out of it, which is her daughter, Marley. But then she also talks about, domestic abuse. And she brings up the fact that, a lot of the ladies on the show have been involved in relationships that, were volatile. And she knows that has been a hot topic in some seasons. And I hate to think that she would like use that as a, conversation point because she is scraping for, a peach. But she said that, he beat her so bad. She was in a domestic violence situation. He beat her so bad, she didn't tell nobody until the police got involved. Now, I say all that to say it kind of conflicts with what she said at the beginning of her story. At the beginning of her story, she was saying they just used to hang out and she got pregnant. Then at the end of her story, it was like they was in this long-term abusive relationship. So I don't know what to believe. I'm not saying she lying because I wasn't in a relationship, but the story just didn't add up. That's all I'm saying. It didn't add up. You can Google, Kevin McCall and Eva, and y'all can go through and y'all can see all the stuff that they went through. He might have been crazy. I don't know if he hit her, but my thing is for her to start off saying that they weren't in a relationship and then to say that they were is just you left something out. That's all. I'm just confused. But anyway, Eva ended up crying, because she said she did not want to talk about him. So she got up, snatched her mic up, and she was, at the bottom of the screen, it said, "I fight with any of these ladies, but I don't want to talk about him." And she ran off, Then Kenya got up to call her or whatever. And it's like, okay, girl, now you good friend. You got to keep the alliance together. So while Eva is gone, Andy moves on to talk about Porsha and Dennis. Now, there's been a lot of blog rumors about Porsha and Dennis. Remember, that's one of the reasons Porsha don't see it for Eva, because Eva was like, I could send her a few of these blogs if she want to talk about her man or whatever. And the odd thing about that was Eva's husband was representing Dennis against the blogs. So Porsha has every reason to be mad at Eva. But, there's that. So Andy asked her about the blog rumors, the drug use, bestiality, blah, 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 blah. And Porsha was like, it was kind of hard dealing with that, but they made it through. She said that she and Dennis are quarantining together with baby PJ and her mom, unlike Kenya Moore, who's not quarantining with anyone except baby Brooklyn. She's a single mom. You said, do y'all remember Candy's daddy said that Candy's mama and aunts ran him away? I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm just reading the comments. Okay, so where was I? Porsha and Dennis. Okay, so as far as Dennis keep getting caught out there, it seems like all eyes was on Porsha and Dennis. After Porsha had a baby special, and after she got engaged and all of that stuff, it's almost like it was like all eyes on Porsha, which is kind of a good thing, because Porsha be trolling sometimes because she want the blogs to talk about her. Hell, the more people talk about you, the more. You remember what I told y'all? It's like, everybody loves to be loved and hated. Everybody loves to be loved and hated. So Porsha says that she knew about Dennis being out at 3 a.m. She even knew the friends he was with, but she said, people taking those sneak pics and it hitting the blogs and all that stuff. She said, it didn't feel good and it didn't look good. And she said that Dennis agreed. But whatever the case, they moved on. And they also, someone asked if, a question from the viewers that Andy got. I don't know where he got these questions from. I guess he got them from Twitter. He said, do you think you moved too fast in the relationship with Dennis? Porsha said, yes, she does feel that way. She says she's a hopeless romantic. She's a hopeless romantic, and they both wanted the same things. She said she should have given him a little more time to move on from his other situations. Now, as far as the wedding is concerned, remember during the season, Dennis mentioned he didn't want to pay for a wedding. If you want a wedding, you need to pay for it yourself and all that. So Porsha says that Dennis feels that way because, he knows the scrutiny that they've been under. Y'all been reading the blogs. Y'all didn't see the blogs made up some stuff. Some stuff was true. Some stuff was fake, whatever the case may be. They are in the public eye. They have to deal with things as a couple, and that's gotta be difficult. You know what I mean? Like, imagine every single time you go out, even if you go out with your sister or your cousin, somebody taking a picture saying, Dennis was out with a girl. Dennis was out with a woman. Like, it's gotta be hard. So, Dennis said he doesn't want to pay for a wedding where people are judging him and, feeling like, he's cheating and all of that stuff. People read the blogs, whatever. But, I guess that's something they just got to get acclimated to, because, you in the public eye, people going to talk, people going to say certain things, but it's something that they just got to get used to. So, Porsha said he wants a small wedding. When speaking about the situation, Candy seemed to be pretty mute about it. And Andy asked Candy, why was she so mute about Porsha and Dennis's relationship when, if you remember, KMZ was was hot on the trail. Like when they first started, when Porsha was pregnant and all that, Candy was telling everybody about, Dennis's girlfriend. She knew one of the girlfriends. She brought one of the girlfriends to the party, all of that. So anyway, Candy claimed that she didn't want to publicly have an opinion on Porsha's relationship because she's trying to be in a better place with Porsha. Nene speaks up at that time and says, well, Kandi should understand, how I felt about Wendy Williams. Like, I had already said, like, I was trying to be in a better place. We had agreed not to talk about it publicly. So Kandi, for whatever reason, didn't seem to comprehend that. Kandi knew exactly. Kandi knew exactly what she meant. So, here comes the fake beef, because Kandi was like, is she trying to compare her and Wendy to Dennis? And that is not what that is not what the comparison was. The comparison was she did not want to speak about it, just like you don't want to speak about Porsha because you're in a better place with Porsha. So you don't want to ruin that better place. Nene chose not to speak about the situation with Wendy because she felt like she was in a better place after, they made up after years of feuding. So why speak on it? Like, dude, like, what is so hard to understand? So it's that whole fake beef. Nene says, girl, go get your smoke somewhere else. You can't get here. Go get your smoke somewhere else. While they arguing about that, Andy, that's the perfect time for Andy to bring up the question of, look, what is this beef y'all got? Like, where is it coming from? Kandi says, we was cool throughout the entire season. I don't know. Nene was like, girl, you've been shady the whole season. Like, they may have been cool, but Kandi been very passive aggressive. Kandi been riding for Kenya. Kandi been, criticizing Nene making up with people. Kandi don't like the fact that Porsha made up with her. Like, it's like, girl, like, you don't see your own actions. Do you not see your own actions? So Nene says, Kandi says that it's about, Nene claiming what she said on her YouTube channel. Nene was like, that's my personal YouTube channel, and I wasn't talking about Kandi. Nene admits, she said, look, she came on my channel. Remember when she came on my channel? She said, I done called her, I have texted her, I done told her 5 different times, I'm not talking about you. How many times I gotta tell her I'm not talking about her? Kandi was like, well, who you talking about? Who you talking about? And then he was like, look, I ain't got to answer to you. Why does she have to answer to her? Like, really, for real. Why does she have to answer to her? That whole little argument that who you trying to run from and all that. Nene was like, I ain't running from nobody and blah, 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 blah. It was like Andy had to mute them both because they both was yelling at each other. Finally, Andy unmutes Kandi and lets her talk. And Kandi, says that, look, it's gotta be about me because I was starting production on my show when she said it. And it's like, girl, like, she already said she was not talking about you. Nene said she even texted her. Eva dips in to correct Nene because Nene kept telling Kandi she forgettable, unforgettable, forgettable, unforgettable. It was so much going on. I guess she kept mixing up the words. And then Nene starts to go in on Eva again. Stay on the bottom, go lick some bottoms. Eva just needed to get in there. It's like, girl, you come back from crying about Kevin and you automatically just step in a beef. I don't get that. Andy, I'm glad Andy kind of sort of put a stop to the whole situation because it is fake beef. Because Andy was like, well, it could be you or Kim Zolciak Bierman or Kim Bierman, which it is. So if you go watch the videos, because she talked about it on more than one video. I think Kandi might have got the last video, but if you've been watching all her videos like us fans do, she said in some video about, people having blonde hair and blue eyes, getting show after show. And so she, in the other video, she was just reiterating that what she had said in previous videos. And she was talking about how the brown girls don't get as much respect as, the other ladies. So Kandi, for whatever reason, waited to the end of the season to pick a battle and say, it's about me when it wasn't about you. And so that whole beef is so manufactured and we see right through it. We've been talking about it for a minute on this channel. If you're new here, go ahead, like and subscribe. Go look at the Housewives playlist and check my stats and let me know if I'm right or wrong. That was interesting. That was very interesting. they ran another package, another little, segment, another little video montage of Kenya and Cynthia's friendship. And the whole thing starts off with them talking about Nene. Nene is toxic friend. What about Nene? Blah, blah, blah. During the whole little thing, it's like they're showing a scene of Nene looking visibly upset. Like, look, I'm tired of this, child. I keep hearing my name. They talk about things that ain't got nothing to do with this. And look, let me go back because I skipped all over Kenya bringing Gregg into the situation. Because when Andy asked Nene if Mark was her karma for, the way she treated other people's relationships, and Kenya clapped back by asking if Gregg was Nene's karma, if Gregg cheating on her with the help was her karma. And it's like, girl, you coming at Nene with something that she told y'all. She told y'all on Angela Yee's podcast this story. Had she not told y'all would have never known. The blogs would have never ran. She spoke about it. So Kenya was like, is that her karma? How is that her karma? And I'm thinking to myself, here we go again with yet another situation of them, another incidence of them bringing in something that had nothing to do with the season. Gregg was barely even in the season. The man just recovered from cancer. Now y'all dragging him into beefs and stuff. Like, I feel like it's fair to talk about Mark, but why you dragging Gregg into it? Deflection, right, Jim, buddy? Just deflecting. So, when she did that, it was just interesting. So I could already tell that, it was, Nene asks, well, who is Mark messing around with then? You need to be worried about who Mark is messing around with. And it's not Kenya. And so Kenya was like, she don't care. We're separated. Now, wait a minute, just the last episode, you weren't separated. The last episode, you were in counseling. He wanted to make things work, and it was good. Now, look, this was all taped in the same day. They just split it up, for 3 episodes. So how is it an hour or 2 after saying, that y'all in counseling, are you now saying you don't know who he's sleeping with because y'all separated? He could be sleeping with anybody. I don't know. We're not together. You're not together. You're not together. Oh, well, honestly, you weren't never together because we don't even believe your marriage certificate is authentic. But there's that. Now let me get back to the end. Let me scroll back to my notes to the end. So, when they ran the little montage of Cynthia and Kenya's friendship, and they was talking about Nene being such a toxic friend. You could see Nene seeming to be visibly upset. She was shuffling pillows. She was talking up under her breath. She said something like, they're talking about if I wasn't here, who would they talk about? Dang, here it is. They talking about me again. And so she shut her laptop down again. And we got to see the same notes that we saw the first time. Because I'm like, they using that same clip. I feel like they using that same clip over and over again. But, it is what it is. Nene shut her laptop. And the alliance gets all happy about it. The alliance, you got Eva talk about when it get too hot in the kitchen. It is like, girl, they were like, I didn't even feel like it was hot at that point because Cynthia was talking. Cynthia was like, well, let me talk about Nene first. And then Andy interrupted her. He got on his little mic like, Nene's not coming back. Nene's not coming back. Wait a minute. Our cash cow has left the building. Shut up, Cynthia. We don't want to hear from you right now. Shush, Cynthia. What's going on? Somebody get Nene on. Somebody get Nene back because nobody's going to watch if she's not here. Get her back. Get her back. So, they just shut Cynthia up. Cynthia, they just left it at that. Candy was laughing. Eva was like, it's too hot. Get out the kitchen. Whatever the case. They don't know what to do now that Nene gone. And so we see a little clip for next week. Yo-Yo comes. Yovanna. Yovanna comes, honey. She got on gold, honey. She got on her best spider lashes. Her lashes touching her hairline. She got on gold eyeshadow. She is ready. And Yovanna came in like, I am going to slay. This might be the last time I'm ever on TV. I am going to slay. I'm going to glue these lashes on, and y'all not going to tell me nothing with my quarantine makeup. You can't tell me nothing. So she came in there looking like she's about to just tell every lie you can think of, child. And the crazy thing is, in the clip they showed for next week, Cynthia must have realized she hadn't said nothing for hours, and she finally pipe up and say something about, if Yovanna lied, why is she here? She lying. And then she's made some comment like, Nene's not here. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. And I guess the whole narrative is that Yovanna ran Nene off. But from my perspective, and I don't know if you saw what I saw, it would seem like Nene left well before Yovanna got there. So how did Yovanna run Nene off? Now, if you're a member of this channel, you already seen the text messages. I got a whole video about Snakegate, about the text messages proving that Yovanna did say she had audio. It was video that was captured on her phone, and she took the audio from the video. That's why they kept flipping it between audio, video. Is it audio? Is it video? Nene, when they was in Toronto, and Nene was like, audio, damn, video, damn. I don't know what the fuck it is. And then when she was talking to Yovanna in the hallway, when she was like, I'm trying to have your back, it was because Yovanna's husband told her it would not be a good look if our clients see that you are surreptitiously recording somebody from your phone without their knowledge. Even if it is legal in Georgia, it is not right. So her husband, being, you know, a kind of, you know, streetwise type of dude, he don't want his friends thinking that his wife is recording. You know, men, you know, mainly men don't be want nobody recording around. You don't know what they're gonna be talking about. So I don't know how they're gonna play that. I don't know, because remember, the text came out after all of this had been discussed. So look, I've been talking for 54 whole minutes. I should leave right now. I should shut down my computer and go right now. Like, that's it. That's the end of my commentary. Good night. That is the end of my commentary. No, but as far as I can tell, like, I don't know if they might edit Nene back in. If they don't, I don't know. But it just, I don't know. It's like they used everything in the first episode. Like, at this point, do we even care what's gonna happen? We already know. We already know.